The 95 VS is back, guys. We've had a lot of decent episodes with great, amazing feedback, and my voice seems like it's back, but a little bit with more punch. You know, that kind of Dan Foster register. Great voice, you know. Who will I compare it to again on the radio? Rick D's on the midday always says, yeah, I know. You probably don't know who those people are, but
guy, you're not Gen Z. I don't know why you think you're Gen Z, guy. You're older than that.
Just stop it, bro. Yeah, have you seen my birth certificate before?
I've seen your firstborn. I don't know about your birth certificate.
Well, you're right about that. Sean, how far now? How you doing?
I'm good, man. You know,
what did you do this weekend?
Man, I'm always laid back, trying to get my energy back because these episodes were something else, man. You know, hearing what people are experiencing throughout their careers is like making me think about what I need to get done for the following months. So I've just been thinking, you know, trying to get my foot. So today, guys, we have a very special guest, a very special artist, a winner in a lot of cases. We have today Nonzo Bassey.
Why did you add his Z in the surname?
I'm sorry, I pronounce a lot of names bad.
Bassey.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
Thank you, Shawn Michaels.
Sean.
Did you know that wrestler, Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
And his brother Brett Michael, who died. They say he died in the wrestling ring, that he fell from on top and died.
I didn't hear about the story.
That time WWE used to be a whole thing. Yokozuna, The Rock at the time.
Yeah.
Shawn Michael, Brett Michael.
Yeah. Did you hear that The Rock is coming back?
To wrestling?
Yes, as The Rock now.
Why?
I remember taking that
now
story.
when you watch those wrestling matches, it looks so fake. I'm like, is this what we were killing ourselves over as children?
Yes,
Because
yeah,
do you remember Undertaker?
Yes,
Yeah! Undertaker was my absolute favorite.
His entrances were everything,
man.
Everything.
Resurrected from the dead. Come on, who thinks of that, man?
Just this
But that
guy
was
that
marketing.
I'm trying to remember his name, but I played him in a game a lot. He had like white mustache. I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember.
Sounds like Street Fighters.
My mom says I look like him a lot.
Say his name again. Is he Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
It sounds like the person. Yeah,
Yes, white mustache. That is
white
Hulk
mustache
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yes, Hulk
That
Hogan.
dude.
I think that's him.
I think he used to be one of my favorite WWE stars. But
I see that for you.
the day I realized that, you know, that thing was just an entire show, I was like, how are people even like, when you watch the stadium, everybody's cheering up. How do you cheer up when you know this thing is an act? How?
They're not even trying to make the punches look real. Like, it's so clear that it's like, I'm like, at least come here.
I mean, they're not punching actually. It's trying to be like an elbow hit.
Yeah.
So like, but then they don't want to use the elbow because they can actually make someone bleed. So they use their forearm.
So
here.
forearms.
So that way it's more safer. But at the same time, it still looks like a very fake fist punch.
It's so fake. And then they make all these very dramatic threats.
Yeah.
I'll kill you. I'll come on your ass. I'll come on your grave.
The one that kind of takes me off a lot when you see the women in WWE. Like there's hot girls with like very framed up
Don't
titties.
say
Oh, the
anything bad
women.
about the women.
They were
I
very
love the
framed
chick
up
fight.
titties.
I love chick fighting.
And they go with the, hey.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So Nonzo, how have you been?
I've been good. I'm trying to get to a place where I don't have to work all the time because it is exhausting. It takes a toll. No matter how much you love what you do,
Yeah.
man shall not live by bread alone.
Alone. The rest is important as well as, you know,
Yes,
what the
it
other
is.
the Bible says.
And I love my sleep a lot more
Well said.
than I love
Well said.
because my brain is always active and the nature of my job is very it's very high functioning and it's
And
overstimulating.
requesting. as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I'm not doing that, I love to go to the beach on like a Monday or a Tuesday when I know that
it will
people
be
are not
empty,
there.
yeah.
Because I don't want to be dealing with people during the week
And then
and
people
then
in
go
your
to
own
the
time.
beach during the weekend. And you know, that's the time most people have to go to the beach. So it's loud and you're fighting for space with people. So that's not what the beach is for me. I like to go to the beach when it's quiet and I can listen to the ocean.
Wow.
Just chill.
I mean, I like the beach, but I like the beach. Yeah.
Man likes the beach. Okay, so we want to find out what has Nonzo Bassey experienced growing up? You know, what did you want to become before you decided, oh, I want to sing for a living?
I think before he even gets to tell us that, don't you think you want to find out what he thinks about the taste of BS?
Okay, man. Everybody's drinking beers these days. I'm wondering what a good drink is like nowadays, man. Okay, so Nonzo, we have this black gentleman here, and we've been sipping it on every episode. Everyone has been giving their reply on what they think about it. I want you to try it today. A taste of BS. Have a sip, sir.
What if it tastes like actual BS?
Well,
can I say that?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can give us a review. That's
find out what bullshit tastes like.
Yeah, we really need to find out so that this is product testing. If I may say,
is it bad?
Is it good or is it bad?
You know?
We don't know.
Right.
At the end of the day, if it's bad, the cup already said it's bad. So, what do you now get to take?
Okay, the moment of truth.
Yes, let's find out.
It tastes like fermented fruit, and
the second sip is always the confirmation.
It tastes like fermented fruit and alcohol, which is not a bad thing because people make worse things on the streets.
Yeah.
And they're making lots of money from it.
Yeah.
So, fruit is supposed to be, alcohol is fermented.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can taste the different...
Potpourri.
Yeah, I can taste all these things.
No, that wasn't easy. It tastes good. That wasn't it tastes good comment.
But it was a good review.
Yeah, it was a good
nonetheless.
review. Yeah, it was a good review.
I don't know that...
A third sip. Swirl it.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
But this is not my
ideal
cup of tea.
It's your cup of bullshit.
It's a cup, yeah.
It does taste like bullshit.
That's what you get when Sean makes a drink for you.
Hey, nah, it's not me in the kitchen, man. Come on.
Okay, he's a terrible mixologist.
Bro, have you seen this man?
Thank God he's a good songwriter.
Bad decisions.
Wait. I can cook, yo.
You can?
You can
I
cook.
can cook, man. Have
You can cook or you can cook.
I can cook.
Is that why they called you Cookie on the TL?
They call him that?
Bro. Yes. So after this man's online debacle,
why are we breaking
what?
Up, man?
It wasn't that much of it.
In the comment section, someone said he looks like Cookie. He smells like Cookie.
I look like I smell like cookies.
Yeah, that was
a bad thing.
It's amazing.
It's
amazing. I love that I got that energy. I think
depends on where the cookie is made.
So I have a funny story about cookies, right?
Yeah.
Back when I was in Covenant University.
Yeah.
You went to Covenant?
Yeah.
Crazy.
In our hostel, there was this guy who had a crush on another guy.
Yeah.
Right? And so he would, and this guy was in the room next to mine.
Yeah.
But everybody used to come to my room to hang out.
Yeah.
So he went home and he came back with like cookies. And so he brought other things, but he only let the guy he had a crush on have the cookies. And so we're like, give us cookies now. And he was like, no, cookies are for special people. And so there's this other guy who just likes, he just likes talking nonsense. Yeah. So the way he said it was like, cookies are for special people. So we all just started saying cookies are for special people. So when he said he smells like cookies, I'm like, cookies are for special people. So, bro, cookies are for special people.
We have another one. There's cookies, and then there's now cookies that are for special people. That's fine.
I will be special.
In Jesus' name, my brother. You will get it. You'll get here. You'll get here. All right, so Nonzo, we're talking earlier about like your work life,
right.
BS. Your fair share of BS. Mm-hmm. That's what this podcast is about. Talking employers, employees, people that are fun employed like yourself now. Where have you worked in the past?
I've worked in a lot of places.
Okay.
Since I got into the university, every holiday I found something to do. I grew up in Calabar. So once I worked at the House of Assembly as an intern, the State House of Assembly.
Yeah.
There was really not that much to do because Calabar is a very quiet town, and a lot of people are either working in the civil service or in the bank, or they are working in a shop or something.
Yeah.
And then I worked with my mom, and then after school I became a full-time civil servant. I moved to Lagos, and I worked at the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency under the Ministry of Aviation.
Mado.
So I did that for about
some
5
serious
years.
work.
Yeah, but my NYSC, I was first posted to Taraba, and I was posted to a school in Bali local government.
Yeah.
In our village was called Mubi, and the school was under the foot of a big mountain, and you were not allowed to fail the students. Yeah, and my parents were not having it, so they had me redeployed to Lagos, and I worked at a law firm for a year, and then moved to the civil service.
Speaking of law firm for a year, are you legally trained, or it was admin?
No, it was mostly admin stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
interesting. Wow, so this man had like a civil service 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Interesting. What was that like? What was that like working with old people?
exactly.
No,
Because
they're not all old. I mean,
Okay.
there are young people there.
maybe that's a Calabar thing. Okay.
No, I'm talking about civil service in Lagos.
Okay,
Let me speak for Lagos. When I came here, there are tons of young people there, but it wasn't for me in the sense that I did it first to please my parents, because my mom had a sister who, she's late now.
Yeah.
She's late now. Who worked in NYSC at the time. So I think she was about to retire. So this was like the last thing she could do. So like, please help me have my son redeployed.
Yeah.
So she moved me to Lagos. So that was like the last thing. And then when I moved there and I started working at NAMA, I came with a lot of like bright ideas, social media was picking up, the internet was a whole thing. And I thought, okay, I have all these ideas of things that we can do to bring NAMA up to, because it's not an agency that you hear much of, because NAMA is about air traffic control primarily.
It's giving cow.
So the people who tell the pilots this is where you're supposed to go, the people who give the coordinates, that is pretty much the job of NAMA.
Okay.
I was a support staff. I worked in communications, so we mostly dealt with the media, press, and all of that. So I thought, okay, we mostly deal with newspapers. How can we delve more into social media? How can we make ourselves more present? How can young people know about us? Hey, this is what we do, this is what we're about, and this is cool. You can come do this. But it was a lot of, oh yeah, this is great, this is great, this is great. Let's file this, let's talk to this person, and that's the end of that conversation.
Okay.
For months and months and months and years until I just stopped.
How long were you working?
I was there from 2012 to 2017. That was about 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's. So when you say like let's fight, is more like conversations were not heading anywhere. It was always a dead end.
It was always a dead end.
Some form of corruption per se.
I will not say corruption. I will just say lack of interest.
Okay.
Just lack of interest. It wasn't something that they were particularly interested in. The people who called all the shots, made the decisions, were much older, and they're not of the social media times. It's not something they deem as nearly
They probably
important.
didn't even understand what it was.
Yeah. Plus, if anybody, and I guess to some extent I can understand where they come from, because if any of the aviation ministries should be involved with social media, probably FAN, because they deal with the airports. Or NCAA, National or Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the people who make sure that all the rules are being followed. So they deal primarily with the public. But NAMA doesn't really. We deal with the pilots. We deal with the airlines themselves. So the public are not really our first customers.
Couldn't really
so it wasn't that important. So I guess there was nowhere for me to go with that. And I don't know, there was just no future for me there. I was doing it to pay my bills. And I left Calabar to come to Lagos because I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be in the creative space. But it's a tricky industry to navigate your way into, and you have bills to pay. Yeah. So that was a blessing at the time. But if you overstay your welcome, the blessing becomes a curse.
When did it start becoming a curse?
Around the time in 2016 when it was not enjoyable for a while, but it was just something I tolerated. But then the opportunity came for me to go on The Voice in 2016. And my then boss, who I was surprised by, was quite supportive of me. So I took my leave and I went on The Voice. And he was like boasting to everybody.
It's my boy.
He was even in our office meetings, he would tell people, follow your dreams, do this, do that. I'm like,
This is inspired by Nonzo.
Do you understand? And then because he was nearing his retirement
period.
Yeah. And his second in command, who I actually got along with much better than
you did
with him.
Yeah.
So after The Voice, he retired. After The Voice, he retired. And she took over. Yeah. So I thought, okay, we're about to ball. It's about to be good. Yeah. And I already knew, I was on my way out because I couldn't do both because you're on company time. You can't really be doing all this other stuff. So Battleground came along. I auditioned and I got the role in Battleground. So I knew, you know what? My days here at Nama are numbered. So I told her, Ma, I know it's against the book, so this is not how we're supposed to be doing things, but this is really what I want to do, and I have this opportunity. Now with Battleground, we're going to be filming for close to a year. Yeah. So it was like a day job. So like this was just a perfect opportunity for me to exit. So I'm like, I don't want to just leave.
Up and just.
Can you give me a month?
Going to chase your dream.
Yeah. Can you give me a month or two? Let me find my way. Yeah. So because I had told the people at Battleground, I have a day job. Yeah. So we can split our time. So we had worked it out. Monday, Tuesday, I'll be at Nama. Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be on Battleground. So at the time, I wasn't very, very active. My character had not been amped up yet.
So it wasn't fully developed. So you could.
So I still had the time. So on Friday, depending, most Fridays I'll be at the office. But then if they need me on set, I'll do half day at the office and then go off set to, do that. And she was like, okay, great, let's do that. It's wonderful. And she was the type that carries Jesus on top of her head and everything. So I thought, okay, this would be wonderful. Tell me why.
When they start with tell me why, the tea's about to be dropped, bro.
Tell me why I'm on set, right? And then I get a call. And I answer the call and it's like, am I speaking to Nonzo? Chuku Nonzo Iwuchukwu? I say, hey, yes. He said, this is the Director of Human Resources. Nama, where are you? I knew I was in trouble. I said, sir, it's confidential. He said, confidential? During office hours?
Is it channel you're talking to? He
said, your boss is standing, your general manager is standing right in front of me. She says you've not been coming to the office.
Wait, is it the same woman that...
The same woman
oh my God. She was such a dirty bitch.
With, I said, well, it is what it is. I was not about to have that whole conversation
with you on the phone.
I said, sir, it's confidential. I said what I said, and he was like, okay.
You would have as well told him, well, she knows where I am. You could as well ask her.
No, I didn't want to play it that way.
Yeah. Because she was
right there. So now it's not the time to, and you have to think quick. I didn't want to play it.
It's not that you're going to be doing, I'm a dirty bitch as well.
Exactly. I was not about to be confrontational there. So I said, well, he said, come to the office and, blah, blah, blah. So I had to just block my mind. Well, I'm here. I might as well finish what I came to do. So by the time I showed up at the office the next day, everyone was like, And I saw her and greeted her. She carried her face like this. I said, hey, okay, cool. So they had written me a query letter and I had to go to the DHR's office, and he was somebody that everybody in the office, everybody in the entire agency was afraid of.
Yeah.
And so I went there. I went to his office. He was like, what did you do? You're in trouble. They've been mentioning your name in the departments, in admin, in HR, in this. Even in departments that have nothing to do with me, my name was being mentioned. I was like, hey.
The tea had spread.
Do you understand? So I went to his office. They kept me sitting there for 2 hours, just to build tension.
Yeah.
I got in there. An imposing figure of a man.
Yeah.
And he scolded me, told me off, everything. I was going to go face panel in Abuja. It was a whole thing. And I said, sir, when he was done, I said, sir, now that you're done, may I say my piece?
Yeah.
I was like, go ahead. And one thing I will always do is defend myself.
That's what's up.
I will never be intimidated by anybody. Right? And I said, sir, I know that I'm in the wrong here.
Quite alright.
But I and my boss had a conversation. I told her I'm on my way out because this is not what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
This is not my future. And I explained to her, I'm just trying to transition out. Just give me a month, at most 2.
Yeah.
This is new for me. Let me find my way out of here. So I'm surprised that she's doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I will take whatever punishment it is I'm given, but I'm not really afraid because this job is not important to me.
Yeah.
And when I was done speaking, all the anger
All the
calmed down.
Of course now.
So he said, because you can't intimidate somebody who has nothing to lose. This is not important to me.
This is BS.
So literally,
This is BS.
and so he told me, these people can put you in trouble. Go and beg her, this, that. And mind you, when I told her this thing before, I bought her perfume, bought her cake, bought her gifts.
But how did
everything.
he find out that
She went and reported now. So then I now went back to the office, and I worked at the airport. So I'd collected Battleground salary. I think I'd just gotten paid.
From that.
So I had some money.
Bro,
so I
you're
went
stacked
into
up.
duty free in MM2. Because my office is right opposite MM2. It's a blue building right opposite MM2. So I just crossed the road, entered the duty free store, bought another bottle of perfume. I bought something else I don't remember, but because in my family, perfume is like a big thing. So every birthday, every Christmas, you get a bottle of perfume. So if I want to gift somebody, it's perfume that just comes to mind.
Naturally.
So I bought her another bottle of perfume and something else that I can't remember. And I went there, I knelt down, begged this woman again, explained it to her as if I had not had this conversation before.
Again.
I said, ma, please, just can you just give me a month? Just like, okay, cool. You should have said so before now. Why didn't you explain?
It's the amnesia for me, bro.
Yeah, it's like sometimes these employers they behave like it's the first time they're experiencing something that has already happened before.
2001 times.
We've not gotten to the best part.
Oh, shoot. There's the best part.
Tell me why.
Again, when they say tell me why.
I love a good tell me why. So, the then Vice President, Oshibajo, came to Lagos. And they had called, he came for some events. And not for Nama, just a separate event. And they called me, hey, come sing the anthem at this event. So this was on a Friday.
Okay, so they knew that you were like amazing. You were an amazing singer from like.
I'd already done the voice.
Okay, at the time. Okay.
So I was already active in music and in film.
Okay.
I think I was, working. I'd not yet put out 411, so I'd not yet put out music, but people still knew me from the voice.
Voice, yeah.
And I was singing at little events here and there. And so this was on a Friday, one of the days that
you were on Battleground.
I would be either on set or Battleground. So we knew the arrangements.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on a Friday, I just come down from the stage singing the anthem. And then I got a call from my colleague.
Yeah.
Because we just got a new MD.
Yeah.
And when people come,
everybody's coming new fire. Yeah, blood is hot. Yeah.
So I came down, I took the call. And this lady was like, new MD is here. GM wants to go and report to him that DHR is not going to do anything because DHR likes me. So DHR is not going to punish me. So she went to go and report to MD. So
wait, this same GM woman?
This same GM.
Bro.
I said, you know what? That's it. Perhaps it was my greed that was. I wanted to eat Nama salary and that's grand salary. I'm like, you know what? This is not even worth it. What am I even doing? So that Sunday, I went straight to the office, wrote my resignation, put it on her table, cleared my desk, and that was it. And I never looked back.
She never called as well.
Tell me why. 2 weeks later, that same colleague called me. She was wailing on the phone. GM is dead.
Whoa! I don't believe
I don't know where the laughter came from, but I broke into intense laughter. Because I was like, play with your mama, ho. Don't play with me. I am not the one.
I'm so sorry I laughed.
I am not the one.
The fact that he laughed that made me.
I am not the one. Because it's like, so that laughter, because the woman who called me is quite superstitious.
Yeah.
So I know other people started calling me that,
what has Nonzo done?
What have you done? Did you kill GM? I'm like, if that's what you want to believe, I'm okay with that. Because it's like, so after everything, you didn't even now stay to enjoy
all the ceremony you were doing.
And she was full of life. Fit. She was full of life. She was the one who was always saying us, eat your veggies, drink your juice, take walks, walk out, you know. So she was really about that life. And she just died mysteriously.
Jeez, man.
I'm like, did you carry the GM to the grave?
Jeez, man.
Did you?
Jeez, man.
Did you?
God damn.
Maybe choice.
God damn.
So I always warn people who try to come for me. The people that are fighting for me, they are bigger than you.
More. That was plot twist for days. I didn't see that coming as well.
I feel like with so much Vikings right now.
So I mean, you had your fair share of bullshit working in 9 to 5 per se. I mean, now you're in the music industry, you're in the movie industry as well.
Right.
I mean, I hear a lot of things happening in your field.
Right.
I'm passionate in the music industry as well by virtue of working as a talent manager and an A&R. This nigga right here is an artist as well, you know. Yeah, he's an artist as well. He has an amazing song out there. Right? By the way, you should check it out.
There's many amazing songs out there.
Shy is a really dope jam. It's a dope record. Okay, so I mean, having said all this, what has been your experience with working, you know, as an artist in both fields?
With other artists, producers, lawyers.
I mean, no regrets, because this is what I quit my job for. Yeah. This is what I came from.
Regrets now. Make sure you laugh you for her grave.
Yeah, like no regrets whatsoever. With all the difficulties and all the ups and downs, I would not change this for anything. Mm-hmm. It has definitely been interesting. It's been very interesting. When I started, a lot of people couldn't conceive the fact that I wanted to be active in both the music and film industry, because everybody kept telling me pick one.
Pick a struggle.
Pick one.
Yeah, that's right. That's how everyone thinks.
Yeah, and my thing is, pigeonholes are for pigeons. I'm not a pigeon, and it's comical to me because.
Pigeonholes are for pigeons. I'm not a pigeon.
I'm
Nonzo Bassey 2024.
I'm absolutely not a pigeon.
Yeah.
And it's so comical to me, especially as Nigerians who carry God and religion on top of our head. Speaking for the Christians, right? Who were the overwhelming majority of people who were always telling me, dump one and focus on one. Yeah. We know the parable of the talents.
I hear you.
Yeah.
To one, the master gave 5. To another, he gave 2.
Yeah.
To another, he gave 1. And he fully expected them to use the talents that they were given. Mm-hmm. When I die and go and meet my maker, he's not going to hear, oh, they told me in this radio station, or this gatekeeper, or this person said you must only focus on one.
Yeah.
Is he the one, or is she the one that gave you the talent?
I did wrong.
So I'm doing it as unto God, not for anybody's approval.
Right.
So that was definitely something I dealt with a lot in the beginning. I think more and more And it gave me a bit of an identity crisis because I didn't now feel like I knew where I belonged. Because people in the music industry thought I wasn't serious.
Oh, shit.
And then I had people in the film industry who would say to my face,
that you're not serious.
Who the hell is this musician that they're giving our roles to?
Mad.
You know, I had to constantly prove myself
No, you could deliver.
that I can deliver. So it felt like I had to constantly prove myself. And, you know, over time people got to see that, oh, this guy can sing.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy can act. And then I put out the Toyo music video and it shocked people that this guy can dance.
Yeah.
So
that video was flames, by the way.
Thank you so much.
The makeup, the art, it was
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've come to this place where I'm not trying to prove things to people necessarily for their approval. It's only between me, God, and my fans. As long as they love what I'm doing, and I'll continue to feed that and continue to grow that. So that has been my experience. As much as I love what I do, I love music, I love acting, I love film, I love creating things. I don't really like the industry. It's not fun. But it's like rose, like a rose. You know, rose is beautiful, but
it has thorns.
All the thorns. You have to get through that. And the industry is like a thorny bush.
A lot of roses, but then there's still the things.
A few roses and a lot more thorns.
Thorns, to grab at
What are the pain points for you from the thorns?
The what?
The pain points.
Pain.
Yeah, the pain points.
Number one, the rejection. I think to do this kind of to follow this path, you have to have
strong mind.
Extremely. You have to have an insane amount of faith in yourself, in your dream. And many people call it delusion. Faith really is delusion because it's believing in something that
you haven't really
has
even
not
seen
yet
materialized.
Begun to exist. Yeah. Because that is the only thing that keeps you going when you take hit after hit after hit after hit. So one of the biggest hits I took in recent times was at the top of 2020, right before the pandemic. I was cast in what was going to be Netflix's first original series in Nigeria. So it was a big deal.
Big deal.
And I was going to be the male lead. And then I played this character that was good. He was a singer and he gets murdered and he resurrects as Shango.
Oh.
Mado.
So it's like, and the chick was going to be Oya because Shango and Oya have a love relationship. So it was like a really, really big deal.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ted Sarando is like the CEO or whatever he is, you know, came, like it was a big deal. And there was all this fanfare about it. And 2 days into the production, the world shuts down. And so we thought, okay, you know what? The whole world is shut down. Netflix is shut down. It's going to come back. By the time they pick back up, you know. But then the whole politics of the industry and all of that, the show never came back. They took it and made it a South African show. I think The Brave Ones or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen The Brave Ones.
Yeah. And, you know, I saw a bit of it. I'm like,
no, it's not giving.
This could have been so much better. Because I feel like that's partly why they don't like Nigerians. We don't have the structure, but we have the juice.
Yeah.
Because as a Nigerian story, that would have killed so much more than that. Because it was cute.
Yeah, I mean, it was cute, but like the substance of the story,
it was cute, but it was
not really
not what we're going to do. And I was going to be at the head of that.
Oh my God.
So that was...
I loved the VFX in that film show.
It was going to be so much better here. I mean, it's Nigeria now. I mean, that's the reason why the world is coming here. You know, looking for what we have.
Yeah.
But like, they don't understand the market. So it's
still a working process.
It's a jungle.
Yeah.
There's a jungle, you know. Yeah. So that was one of the biggest hits I took in recent times.
Yeah.
And it had to make me okay with taking hits and making sure that I'm okay.
I can imagine what your mind was like after that.
So the thing is, for me, I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but I'm very highly adaptable.
Okay.
Once I take a hit, it's like, okay, I'm good. Because before that opportunity came, before I knew that such an opportunity existed, I was fine.
Yeah.
And so if it's for me, it will stay. If it's not for me.
Yeah.
And every time I have chased after stuff, it has never worked out in my favor. And if I got something that I chased after, it always ends up a disaster. So I let the things that are for me come to me.
Okay.
Because even if I play hard to get, they are for me and they stay. But the things that I let myself be pressured into, or the things that I think, oh, I really want this for such and such and such and such reasons, and I fight to make it happen, it never works out well. It's always a waste of my time, waste of my resources, or something happens that just really pisses me off. Really, really pisses me off. That makes me think, was this really worth it?
Worth it, yeah.
So I don't like to, and stuff like that even happened very, very recently. As recent as yesterday. Yesterday, right? Yesterday. So my thing now is I'll just keep failing forward
instead of failing backwards.
So we learn these lessons every day.
I like that. Fail forward, don't fall back after a fail, because a fail is also a win. It means you've learned something. And
if you don't learn, that's what makes you foolish.
No. You have to learn. Whether you're ignorant to it, you have to learn.
People don't
That's
like
what I'm
learning.
saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they've learned something, but they're ignorant to it. You have to learn it. You have to get a lesson out of everything. If you're ignorant to it, if you're not willing to accept it, then that is your fault. You keep repeating it. And everybody, some people are fine with repeating, but me, I'm not.
Like you've been in a class and those papas and mamas that have been there for
years.
God forbid.
So he's still talking about like the industry and like how you say you don't like the industry. What has been that thing for you when it comes to like the music industry that you feel like, bro, this is BS?
I don't know. I feel like the music industry can be so much better than it is because there is immense talent here, but not as many opportunities for different kinds of talent. Because, we like to, and I hate that we do this so much. I guess it's a product of like colonialism or whatever, but the way we view the world is through an American lens.
A white man's lens, yeah.
Specifically American. Maybe British as well. But it's because it's really nowhere else in Europe or anywhere. It's mostly American. The people we really compare ourselves to are in the US or the UK. And when you look at those markets, there's room for different genres. Diversity.
Yeah.
Which we don't have
right now.
Here.
Yeah, right.
And so you have to do that much of a work on yourself to prove
that your genre or what you're doing is it.
And I noticed that, it's also a culture here and it's bigger than the music industry. So my issue with the industry is not even as much the industry as it is the Nigerian culture, which is that a lot of people are not willing to be original. A lot of people are not willing to take a chance on something new. But once that thing proves to be successful,
everybody's hopping on it because it's become a trend.
And I remember learning this lesson specifically as a child in Calabar when Mr. Biggs came. And once they saw that everybody was always going to Mr. Biggs, next thing, all the different ones came up. Fans, Fiesta Fries, Crunchies, Crunchy Chicken, Apples, Chicken Republic, Tasty Fried Chicken. Once they saw that this model works, everybody wants to do it. But very few people are willing to try something else. And then when you now see that, oh, this new thing works, when somebody else does the sweat to prove something to be right, then everybody wants to do that.
I think I genuinely agree with you. I saw a post made by Joey.
That's my life, safe.
And he said that Amapiano has to die. Like, he was very vocal about it. He said Amapiano is killing the originality in Afrobeats.
Yeah.
Because where all the progress that we made in 2020 during COVID year, Amapiano came and just like swept all the refining of our sounds, like all the work that people did, just sitting down and just working hard on their music. The log drums came out. Everybody now wants to make music that, so it just follows what you're saying about like a pattern. When there's something that's successful, that is big, everybody wants to jump on that trend and make something that is successful.
I think it's even bigger than just Amapiano. It's Nigerians are very, very similar to Americans in this regard. Americans are just Nigerians with Gucci belts, really,
and white skin.
Yeah, because Americans are very opportunistic. They'll hop on whatever is trending. But also, I think what they may have, over us is the fact that they are also willing to try new things. I believe, because this did not start with Amapiano.
Yeah, it's like
when
a lot of
the whole Ghana bounce was a thing, like, we've
hopped on trends, we've hopped on everything
and made them more popular, and we have that going for us, which is great.
Right, yeah.
But why aren't we willing to use this thing that we have to try more things? And Style Plus will always be iconic to me.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
They made R&B happen,
yeah.
In as much as I'm not the biggest fan of R&B music, even though the way I sound is very R&B.
R&B type,
I know.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of R&B music, but I call my music native R&B, right? But Style Plus made that happen. And I will always be proud of them for doing that. In an ideal world, those guys should be millionaires, multi-millionaires. But even if they are not still actively making music today, they should be cashing out from royalties.
Before we wrap up this, how have you dealt with unfair treatment on set? Because I know it happens, like with actors, especially when maybe you're not playing a lead character. And I hear that a lot of BS, happens, especially with staff. Who be this guy? Have you had to deal with that?
I have had to deal with that a lot in the past. I guess for me, I've always been focused on playing the long game. I realize that it's a culture here. People will only pander to and cater to people at the top, people they deem as more important than you. My job is to come here and do my job, do it really well.
Interesting, you always deliver. I mean, I watch Nonzo on stage, like even when it's performing music, and I'm like, the Nonzo you see on stage is different from this guy sitting here, because for me it almost feels like this thing they'll tell you that if you're studying theater arts and that a spirit takes over you once you do this, that's almost how it feels like. And
that's what Nonzo is.
Exactly.
Because Nonzo is who I am in everyday life, and it was important for me to separate
those characters
from myself, because at some point Nonzo Bassey, which was like my old stage name, it started feeling like dead skin, especially around the time that I lost my mom. This has always been the way it has been for me. I have 3 names, and they represent 3 aspects of my creative personality. Nonzo is a singer, and Nonzo hates confrontation. Nonzo does not want to deal with that. Nonzo is shy. Bassey is the actor. Bassey is the really confident guy. You cannot tell Bassey shit. And Anozuma is the dancer. But not a lot of people knew that I could dance. Just like not a lot of people know the Anozuma name in the first place.
So you guys are hearing it here first.
My mom's favorite name for me, even though she gave me the Bassey name, but Anozuma was like low-key her favorite name. So after because I used to dance a lot in secondary school, and after that I just sort of lost my confidence for it. And so after she died, there's nothing like death that makes you wake up to the fact that
you have to live. Yeah.
And so I just wanted to, it just all sort of sat into place. Sorry.
That's fine.
At that time. And so to honor her, I put Anozuma into my creative personality. That's where the Z in Nonzo comes from.
Interesting.
So it became that person that he's like this. He's like a mythic creature that is different from me.
Yeah.
Because who that person is on stage is not who I am in everyday life. I can't be that person all the time.
I feel you.
And so for me, how I deal with not being treated right or fairly, well, that doesn't happen as much anymore. But even in instances where those things happen, if it's something I can speak up about, especially if my time is being wasted, I speak on it. And because I'm more aware of how the culture is, what I do is, if you're paying me to be on your project, you're paying for my time.
Yeah.
So how much time do you need? You need a day, you need 2, you need 5. This is what you're paying for. And within those days that you've paid for, whatever it is you want to do. If you like, shoot. If you like, don't shoot. Down is your business. But you've paid for that time. So you own this time. But once this time is done, then we can have a different conversation. So that's just how it works for me. So that I'm not losing my mind over, you're not shitting my scene, or you didn't do this for me, or you didn't do that. It's a waste of my time.
Speaking of losing your mind, right? What does it take from you? Because with actors, right? You guys are jumping characters, you're jumping bodies, right? This week you're on this project, next week you're on this project. A lot of times, you don't sit to breathe and wear back who you really are. So you're just somebody moving with multiple personalities, and some of these characters stay with you.
Right.
What does it take from you mentally, and how have you been able to, adjust?
Cope with it, to get back to your normal character.
Sleep.
Okay.
That's
a first.
That's a very, very good one.
Of sleep. Because in as much as I do a lot of things, I'm not a very good multitasker.
Okay.
I don't like to multitask. I like to focus on what it is I'm doing per time.
Okay.
And if I'm in performance mode, performance mode is different from creative mode. Like if I'm creating music, or if I'm writing, or if I'm, just birthing something, conceptualizing something, it's a different frame of mind than if I'm in performance mode. Say if I'm on set, or if I'm filming, or if I'm performing music, than if I'm in promotion mode. So that switch, I need a lot of time in between to just sleep and do nothing. And that's why I go to the beach a lot, or I go to the gym, because it helps me focus on something that's outside of my brain. So I like to wash plates.
What?
Just those mundane things helps me get out of my head to see that, okay, I can do something. And I like to clean. I hate to cook. I like to clean. So in those periods, I'll just wake up by 2 a.m. and just start rearranging my whole house. And I'll start cleaning places that I have not cleaned in
2 weeks.
In a very long time. And that task of doing all of that, by the time I'm done and I see, okay, I've left this place better than I met it, I'm able to purge
yourself.
Of that.
Of all that.
Yeah,
well, it has been a very wonderful interview because wow, nobody would have guessed a lot of things you have said today, and you have come up and said a lot, and a lot of people are going to talk about a lot that you have said. So thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for having a taste of bullshit. And
fermented bullshit.
Fermented bullshit. Okay, so you guys go on Instagram and look for 95 Bullshit Podcast. Follow us up and keep track on Nonzo.
Sure, I've not plugged my album. I'm promoting an album. Jesus. Hey, do your thing, Album.
No. Go ahead. We're practically done already.
This is a podcast, man. This is not live TV. We can afford to do whatever we want to do. So go ahead, talk about your project.
Okay, so you should tell them to listen to my album. It's better.
Yes.
All right, guys, listen to this man's album, Nonzo Bassey. What's the name of your album?
Diary of a Lover Boy.
Diary of a Lover Boy.
Diary of a Lover
Catch me
Boy.
on Unscripted every Wednesday on Africa Magic Showcase channel 151.
151.
Interesting. I hope that one day I would get out of my head and make a monologue and probably pitch and probably get on screen and act a character. And I'm shitty at it. But I hope that one day I would get into that space.
Trust the actor. What would that be like?
Trust the actor.
Yeah. Shoot.
I honestly think musicians will make good actors. I think every musician has
make a good
what it takes
actor.
to make, because you're performing.
Yeah.
And it's not every time you're telling your own story.
Mm-hmm.
And music is all about believability. Once you can make your audience connect to you and believe every word you're saying, which is like something for you, which I keep telling you, you're a really good songwriter, you're a really good storyteller.
Yeah.
So you do really well in the film space. I don't know about you because I mean, but yeah, once anybody that does well in music can do well in the film space.
Should give it a try.
I will.
So that you become the next bad boy on the
The
block.
next bad boy.
The next bad boy on the block.
That's not my legacy now. That's not Iki's legacy now. It's Lover Boy that is our
That's what you will do in your family.
Yes,
Lover boy.
it's what we do.
Alright guys, see you in our next episode. Cheers.
No, I'm sorry. His father was very annoying in films. We all hated him. So it's not even
No,
that.
this is not what you were saying last week.
No, it's not that.
No.
Emeka Ike, so like all my sisters hate him. I'm the only one who liked him, but you can't deny that. Emeka Ike is annoying.
Oh my
There's
god.
the way you say those lines, and you know when he's trying to toast the babe, and you know that this guy is just annoying. There's one movie with
cockiness
Jennifer-
for me.
I love you.
Okay, never mind. Let's not go there. But he's an icon,
Yeah.
a legend.
All right. Thank you.
Bye now. Bye bye. We are
that
going.
just took a different turn.
We're going. Bye bye, guys. Thank you very much. Watch our podcast. Subscribe to the 95PS podcast on all social media and on YouTube.
Adios.
Troy says bye. My voice seems like it's back, but a little bit with more punch, you know, that kind of Dan Foster register, great voice, you know. Who will I compare it to again on the radio? Rick D's on the midday always says, yeah, I know. You probably don't know who those people are, but
You're not Gen Z.